Alrighty, so welcome to page 184. It's May 19th, 2020. Alright, I'm actually doing this on Saturday. Way ahead, just like I did yesterday, 183. So the first word is the word ignore. What's the word? Excellent. Ignore, which we know, to not pay attention to not notice, to not take notice, right? Or to disregard. Ignore. Let's go. Ignore. Ignore. All right, so let's go. Ignore. Ignore. So we have two things to mark up. Let's go. Excellent. Underline the O and the silent E twice. Draw an arrow back. Great. Now, the word that comes from the word ignore is the word ignorant. What's the word? Exactly. And we all know what that ignorant attitude is. Don't know, don't want to know, right? Uneducated, lacking in knowledge, lacking experience. So, for example, look at how ignorant the people were with Ruby Bridges. They didn't know her, didn't want to know anything about her. They just had an attitude and a belief about her without any kind of knowledge. Okay, same thing with the Wright brothers. Look at how ignorant people were with them. Man wasn't meant to fly. If he was meant to fly, he'd be born with wings. Okay? I can give you an example of how Mr. Modell is ignorant. Yeah, ignorant, that's right. When it comes to wine, I don't know anything about it, don't want to know anything about it. Okay? It's not of any interest to me. That's on a slightly positive way. I mean, I know it comes in red and white. That's about it. So I know a little something. Okay, anyway, ignorant. Let's go. Ignorant. Ignorant. Let's go. Ignorant. Ignorant. How do we mark this up? Excellent. Underline the O. You got it. That's rule 4. And again, notice that ignore ends with a silent E. That is also, rule 13. All right. Now, when you are ignorant, you show your ignorance. We change the T to a C and add a silent E, okay? Ignorance, so for example, you did have a disregard for the facts, you're not caring. Sometimes people will call ignorance stupidity. It depends on the situation, yeah? Ignorance. Let's go. Ignorance. Ignorance. Okay, so let's go. Ignorance. Ignorance. All right, so how do we mark this up? Excellent. Underline the O, the C, and the silent E twice. Job number 3, but you got it. Rule 2. But in order, let's go. We have rule 4. We drop the silent E, and we have rule 2. So we have rule 4. Let's do a repeat. Rule 13. Let's do a repeat, and then let's just add rule 2. Okay? And what do we do with these 3 words? Great, triple brace. So the next word is the word expose. What's the word? Excellent. Expose, which is to reveal or to show, to uncover, to display, maybe exhibit, right? To show something. So for example, the child was able to expose her intelligence and her artistic creativity when she revealed, or when she exposed, when she revealed or showed her work. Okay? When you expose yourself to the sun, you get a lot of vitamin D. You think it's just milk, but the sun provides a tremendous amount of vitamin D, so it's good to expose yourself. Obviously, if you overexpose yourself, you can get a sunburn, okay? And there's a lot of talk now that it may be very important to go out into the sun to expose yourself, and this is one of the things that may kill off the coronavirus. In terms of the germs and the infection. So it's kind of fascinating what's going on. Anyway, the word is expose, okay? Excuse me. Expose. Expose. Okay, first syllable, X, second syllable, pose. Expose. We have 3 things to mark up. Great, underline the O, second sound, underline the silent E twice. Draw an arrow back, you have the rest. Haven't done that with the second sound for a long time. Okay, now we're just going to put it in the past. Let's just say exposed. The baby exposed his naked tush when he was running around. That's right. And of course, we are all exposed to the truth. We don't always accept it, but we are exposed to the truth. Okay? All right. Anyway, let's go. Whoa, what happened there? Exposed. You know what to do. Just say exposed and write it. Sorry about that. Exposed. Don't forget to cross your X. Okay? Again, notice we dropped the silent E, otherwise it would be exposed. So that is rule 13. Okay. Now when you expose something, when you bring it to light, when you bring it out, when you bring it forth, that's called exposure. Okay? So for example, exposure can also be, it's not a homograph exactly, but exposure to things, very important. Exposure to music is very important for our minds and our hearts. Okay, exposure to the sun, as we talked about it, is very, very important. Okay, exposure means experience. So you could think of it like this: exposure to listening to Beethoven inspired the child to become a great musician. Okay, and sometimes there are stars that we know, they're out, the paparazzi's taking pictures. That's publicity. That's exposure, okay? They got a lot of attention, all right? But again, exposure, bringing to light, right? Experience, displaying things, okay? Exposure, let's go. Exposure. Sorry about that. Exposure, let's go. Exposure. Exposure. And in some ways, exposure and expose is the opposite of ignorance. Someone who's ignorant, they kind of hide things. They don't want to know. Someone who exposes themselves, who's open-minded in that regard, they learn new things. They really expand their horizons. Okay, so let's go. How do we mark this up? Great. Underline the O, second sound. Underline the U and the silent E twice. Draw an arrow back. You know the rest. So the O can say O at the end of a syllable. That is, you got it, rule 4. And again, going back to the word expose, notice we dropped the silent E. That is also rule 13. Okay, and what do we do with these 3 words? Great, triple bracket or brace, triple brace. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's go. Ignore, ignorant, ignorance. Expose, exposed. Exposure. So the next word, number 8, is the word pretty. What's the word? Exactly, pretty. We say pretty, but we spell it pretty. Beautiful, lovely, attractive, good or nice looking, appealing, eye-catching. Sometimes people say it's eye candy when someone's walking down the street with someone who's attractive or handsome or pretty. Okay, but there is another way that we can actually use it, and it is the word. You can use it in this sense. When someone says, "How you feeling?" Pretty good, which means kind of, or quite good, or rather good. Okay, so pretty. We say pretty, but we spell it pretty. Let's go. Pretty. Let's go. First syllable, pret. Second syllable, T. And again, notice that we divide the syllable by the double consonant. Let's triple underline that because it does not follow the rules. We can use it more than one way. That's right. You know what you're going to have to do. And don't be ignorant. Okay? Now, when we compare 2 people, we say, she's pretty, but she is even prettier. Okay? Just say prettier and write it. We change the Y to an I. Okay? Prettier. Okay, change the Y to an I, add ER. And that is what we call a comparative. Comparative means you're comparing 2 things. So one lady to another lady, you're comparing their degree of prettiness. Okay, so she's pretty, but she is even prettier. Now we have she's prettier, but she is the prettiest of them all. That flower is the prettiest of them all. Okay, which is what we call a superlative, like the most. That's the prettiest is like saying the most pretty. All right, just like prettier, you're comparing. You don't say she's more prettier than her. You say she's more pretty, or you say she's prettier. You never say more and prettier. ER means more anyway. Prettiest. Just say prettiest and let's go. It's like mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? It's like who's the prettiest of them all. Okay, so going back to here, you thought I forgot. Rule 15, change the Y to an I. Same thing over here. What do we do with these three words? Triple brace. Okay? And you can tell people are saying, he forgot number 7, he forgot number 7. No, I did not. Sometimes I have to keep you guys on your toes. I have to expose you to these little Mr. Modell tricks. All right, so the next word is the word quit. What's the word? Excellent, quit. To give up, right? Sometimes it means to leave, to walk away, to abandon or desert. You don't quit on your team. You don't quit on your friends. You don't quit on yourself, most importantly. And believe it or not, people think of the word quit as a negative. And that's true very, very often, right? Like you quit some sort of challenge. But to quit something can sometimes be a positive, like quitting a bad habit, like smoking, or not paying attention, or not doing your homework. Quit when you quit eating foods that are bad for you, okay? Or you quit a bad attitude that you had about a classmate, okay? Quit. Let's go. Quit. Quit. Let's go. Quit. Dot your I, cross your T. How do we mark this up? Excellent. Q, underline the Q. Q and U stick like glue. That's rule 1. Okay? Now the next word is the word quitting. What's the word? Excellent. Quitting. So let's go. Quit-ting. Quitting. Again, quit-ting. Quitting. First syllable, quit. Second syllable, ting. And again, notice that we divide the syllable by the double consonant. So how do we mark this up? Underline the qu and the ng. Now this is where it gets very interesting. Okay, of course we have rule 1. But going back to the word quit, we have one syllable, one vowel. The U does not count as a vowel in this particular case because Q and U stick like glue. It's one unit. It's not considered to be a vowel. And one consonant at the end. It is the 1-1-1 rule, which is rule 11. Okay? And, whoops. Okay? And the last word is the word quitter. What's the word? All right? A quitter. A quitter, in the negative sense, is a coward. All right? They're very cowardly. All right? Sometimes people will call somebody who's a quitter a loser or a slacker. I wouldn't necessarily go that way. Okay? But that's just me. But there is the expression, a winner never quits and a quitter never wins. Okay? Quitter. So let's go. Quit-ter. Quitter. So let's go. Quit-ter. Quitter. I'm not a quitter, said the kid. Okay, so let's go. Underline the qu and the And again, Q and U stick like glue. That's rule 1. And the 1-1-1 rule, that is rule 11. What do we do with these 3 words? Excellent. All right, so let's go back to this. Pretty. Pretty. We say pretty, but we spell it pretty. And it is a homograph. Okay, let's go. Prettier. Prettiest. Comparative, superlative. More, comparing to. EST, most. The most pretty. Okay? She is more pretty than the flower. Okay? Let's go. What a pretty piece of music. That was prettier. That was the prettiest piece of music I've ever heard. Quit. Quitting. Quitting. Quitter. Quitter. Don't quit. Don't give up. Expose yourself to something great. Don't be ignorant, which I know you aren't. Okay? And give me some incredibly pretty sentences. All right. So let's go.